Wow, first airline flights canceled, now Christmas services canceled across America. So some churches have come up with alternatives, some are canceling service altogether. Many U.S. churches canceling in person Christmas services. Amid a surge of cases across the U.S., numerous churches have canceled in person Christmas services, disappointing pastors and churchgoers who consider them an annual highlight. Other churches planned outdoor services or proposed a hybrid of online and in person worship. But if you decide to go in person, this is what you're going to have to do: wear a mask and show proof of the jab scene. You can't do that. You can't go to in person services. Among the prominent churches canceling some or all of their in person Christmas services were the Washington National Cathedral in the nation's capital, St. John the Divine, the Cathedral of the Episcopal Diocese of New York, the historic Old South Church in Boston. The Reverend Nancy Taylor, senior minister of Old South, said the church affiliated with the United Church of Christ still hope to hold in person Christmas Day services on Saturday, but was shifting its popular Christmas Eve service to online only. Wow. The Christmas Eve congregation tends to be larger with a lot of visitors and some whom have come from parties and many whom are not used to Boston's mask mandate, she explained in her announcement. While we cherish these guests under normal circumstances, these are not normal circumstances. We are prioritizing the health and safety of our volunteers and staff, she said. We know how disappointing this is. Yeah, so they're saying don't bring your friends and visitors from out of town. We don't want them. Leaders of the Washington National Cathedral, which traditionally welcomes more than 15,000 people to its Christmas services, announced that its services until January 9th. So they canceled all services until January 9th. And it would only offer remotely with no worshipers or visitors allowed in the cathedral. Unfortunately, Omicron has taken hold across the world. Our city seems to be leading the nation in infections. The cathedral dean, the very Rev. Randolph Marshall. All right, so given the spike in affections, I have simply cannot justify gathering mass crowds as a public health situation worsens around us. Another Washington major church, National City Christian Church, also canceled its Christmas Eve service and will shift exclusively to online worship at least through January 16th. Leaders of National City, the National Church of the Christian Church, Disciples of Christ, described their decision as one we desperately did not want to make, but feel we must. They noted that Washington's Mayor Muriel Bowser had declared a state of emergency in the District of Columbia. In New York City, which is experiencing record number of positive tests, leaders at the St. John Divine said they were shifting all Christmas services to online only, using its Facebook and YouTube channel. So I guess that's how you're going to be able to watch services if you really are desperate to see one on Christmas Day. The time has come once again to put the needs and concern of our wider community first, the cathedral said in its website. Another historic New York City church, Middle Collegiate, was gutted by fire in December 2020 after seeing painstaking rebuilding efforts. Okay, they're having a hard time rebuilding their church. Most High must have his hand in that. The senior minister was eagerly anticipating in person Christmas Eve service, but has now been canceled. The decision is one of the hardest choices I've had to make as a pastor, Lewis told the Associated Press via email. This was going to be the magnificent Christmas worship we'd longed for. But I love my people too much to risk their lives. My fabulous team pivoted on a dime and will be hosting the gorgeous online celebration, she said. We'll have stunning music and fiery preaching, but most importantly, we'll be safe and we'll be together. Among other churches canceling in person Christmas services were the Abraham Lincoln Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Springfield, Illinois, the First Church of God in Columbus, Ohio, home to a large, prominently African American congregation. Bishop Timothy Clark, First Church of God senior pastor, announced his decision live on the church website Thursday evening. Blame me, he told the congregation members who might be disappointed. I am the one who will stand before God and give an account. Just north of New York City, Westchester County Bedford Presbyterian Church was among many churches nationwide planning to proceed with in person Christmas services despite the spread of we know what. The Reverend Carol Howard Merritt, the senior pastor, said the decision was made by a group that included parents, a school administrator, and a physician. It became clear, though, that the variant is highly contagious. The infection seemed to result in milder cases, especially those who are vaccinated, Merritt said in an email. In response, he decided to hold in person services while making sure we require mask and stagger seatings, limited attendance, and shortened services. At All Saints Episcopal Church in New York City, borough of Brooklyn, Reverend Stephen Polikas made a similar decision of going ahead with in person services requiring masks. The Christmas Eve service was featuring music by Afro Latino Jazz Orchestra. Okay, so I guess some are just going to do whatever, just move ahead. Arturo and I decided this week to go ahead with having an orchestra who were, of course, they all had to have the jab scene, according to this reverend. And Arturo put it, we need to do what the congregation needs most. And what needs most is right now is some beauty and hope. Okay, so go on to the church for your beauty and hope. Okay. Woo, y'all. I mean, look, this is just before the holiday, the Gentile Christmas holiday even hits. And look at all the stuff that's happening. Boy, you couldn't make this up on your best day. All of this happening. And this is the time of the year where they say this is the most happiest time of the year for the Gentile. And look at what's happening. Don't look so happy to me. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.